Hello and welcome to USTS, the Ultimate Sports Training Show. I'll be your host for today's show, Bob Lemire. Joining me on today's show, and every time he's with me, I got to tell everyone this, and any show he's on with me, I got to say it. Probably the greatest fighter I've ever seen in my life, especially in Taekwondo. Back in the day, no one touched this guy. He had every move and went up and down the seaboard, the East Coast seaboard, all over the country. He's got national titles, and we're going to talk about that today. Major Battle. Welcome to the show, Major.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
It's almost been a year, not a year, 11 months to the day you were on the show. So it went by fast.
It did.
We got through COVID.
Yep.
Barely, I guess.
Yeah.
So last time we were together, we talked about fighting when we fought each other a couple times and some of our experiences and stuff. Today I'd like to, and this show is dedicated to all us people that are aging. We're getting up there in age. Some of the stuff that you and me do, we'll talk about that to keep in shape at our age. Hopefully we can inspire a few people on different aspects of training. So, what have you been up to?
Training, working.
Yeah.
When I train, I'm usually either walking, doing Tai Chi, doing Taekwondo, running, jump rope, anything like that, just to stay in shape. Eating clean, which is important.
Eating clean is big, yeah.
Stuff. And my daughter just bought me a juicer, so shout out to my daughter, Dion.
When did she buy you the juicer?
She bought it for Christmas.
All right, so you just got it.
Yes.
First one you ever really
First
got?
one.
And you can make anything. You can
I'm in love
grind
with
anything.
it. I'm in love with it now.
and make things taste good.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you decide what kind of vitamin you want, and you get that fruit or vegetable, and you make
I've
it.
just been experimenting with everything from ginger to beets to lemon and lime, tomato,
Right.
Carrots, everything.
And you can feel the difference.
Feel the difference. Cleanse.
And we were just talking over the last 5 years, because 5 years ago, me and Major started a project between me get going back to work. I was retired. My wife had medical issues, which she's fine today, and COVID. So we had a lot of stuff going on that just put the kibosh on anything we wanted to do, which we're probably going to do this thing that we want to do. I'm not going to mention it right now about what it is, but it's a project we want to do that's going to be classic, and I don't think anyone's ever done it. And hopefully we can get that done within a year. We're going to work on it.
Definitely.
But as I was mentioning, Major, 5 years ago, you've lost probably 30, 40.
Oh, about 30, 40 pounds.
Imagine.
At the time I was working for the sheriff's department.
Right.
And once I turned 55, I'm like, okay, I can't do this no more. I'm getting up there in age, everything like
You can
that.
bring that to you, yeah.
And I decided to retire.
Right,
Still working now.
right.
Because I have a 18-year-old who, Tyrese, my son, and he's getting ready to go to college next year, so I may have to go back to work full time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now I'm working per diem.
Right.
And I decided to work out because once I retired, I was overweight.
Yeah.
Cholesterol was high,
Yeah.
high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Had to do something.
Right.
Started training again.
There you go. Yeah. And you trained so many years. I mean, think about we've been training martial arts taekwondo for 50 years plus. You know what to do.
Right.
It's not like, oh, how do I do it? Where do I start? You know where to start. Just do it.
Just do it. Exactly.
And it's going to hurt.
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part. Man.
But it don't hurt as much as you and me whacking each other in the face with front round kicks and axe kicks.
No.
So anything other than that is gravy. But so now I look at you now and I'm like, wow. And we're Facebook friends and all that.
Yes.
Instagram and you're showing a lot of your workouts, which are cool. I saw there he is again. And he's got a line of shirts. Major's got a line of shirts that he started. Battleware. Major Battle's his name. Battleware. What a perfect. You can't forget it. And give everyone your email address in case they're interested.
If you're interested in a shirt, it says Battleware, and it says on the shirt, "Stay active." It's battling, BATTLING 3 @hotmail.com. Everything's lowercase. Again, battling, BATTLING 3 at hotmail.com.
And you'll see a picture. We're both wearing the shirt now. We just did a Taekwondo show a half hour ago, and it's a picture of Major jumping in the air doing a scissor kick, they call it, where you're in a complete split up in the air, probably 5-6 feet in the air, doing a punch also. And it's a great, great shirt. I wear it to Planet Fitness, and more people come over and go, "Wow, what's that?" That's one of my old buddies that we used to knock heads with back in the day, 35 years ago.
Right.
It was about 35 years ago.
About 35 years ago.
Sure was, yeah.
Or
maybe
more.
a little less. I was about 34, 35 years old myself.
I was.
It was.
Oh wait a minute! I might have been. I think in my late 20s.
Right. Yeah.
My late 20s.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
At the time.
And I remember.
And I had a daughter at the time. I remember telling you, I said, "Oh, I'm a father now."
Yeah. Welcome to the club. Yeah. Because I remember in 1983. It was the year after that, so it was 1984. So I was probably. Oh no, I was. I was about 30 at the time. I forget how old I was. That meant that long time ago.
Yeah, and I remember. I think I had just gotten out of the military,
Yeah.
but I had joined the National Guard just to have that military
Right. So I was about
atmosphere.
30. Yeah. It's been 30-something years.
30-something years.
I can't remember what I
old
did.
age. You were battling old age.
Oh, Jesus.
and
Don't even
memories,
go
huh?
there. Yeah.
You know?
I can't remember when I went in the room to look for something. And, it's like,
Right.
why am I doing here? But so we're going to talk about a little of what we're doing to keep in shape and stay in shape. I'm going to be 68 this year. 68.
Wow.
And you're
And
going
you
to
don't
be.
look it.
You're,
59.
you're going to be 59.
Yeah.
You're just a kid.
Actually,
You kid. My grandson, he's 5. He tells me, "You're old, Pep." He goes to me, Pep, you're old. I go, "I'm not old." He goes, "No, you are old." So for a 5-year-old to give me the truth, I gotta handle it.
my son tells me that he's 18. He's like, "You know that you're old." I said, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, I know. Let's go work out, you. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're getting back in shape. You got the juicer.
Got the juicer, and I'm eating clean, so
Yeah.
I'm being careful. I eat like a lot of fruits, and I up my vegetables
Right,
and
okay.
everything.
Red meat, a lot of red meat.
Not too much red meat,
Yeah, it's hot.
but I do miss my red meat.
I know, me too.
I said, don't get me wrong. Every now and then I do want a steak,
Right.
but I mean, every now and then I do treat myself. So I have like what they used to call cheat day, but if it's something that I want, I'm just going to have
Moderation.
it anyway.
Moderation.
Right, moderation.
I'm with you there. Yeah. But what happens is, especially red meat, I do a lot of chicken, I do a lot of fish, because of the wife's diet too, and so she got me hooked on health.
Right.
And I used to love steaks and red meat. But if you don't have it for a long time and you start eating it, you can feel the bloat.
Yep.
And you can feel, boy, that ain't digesting like the fish and the turkey are,
Right.
or my vegetables and so you're kind of like, wow, no wonder it stays in your gut for,
Exactly.
and there's nothing like more than a McDonald's Whopper. So.
Every now and then, I know. Sometimes I like with if I want Burger Kings. I had a taste for Burger King. I remember about a month ago, and I kept putting it off. And I said, you know something? I'm going to go ahead and have that Whopper.
Wasn't it good?
It was good. It was good. I felt bad afterwards, right? But I said, okay, I'll just up the workout. So that means 2 extra laps
It
tomorrow
sits in
around
your
the track.
stomach like a lead balloon. And then I got to have fries with it. Come on, give me some.
Yeah.
And then when I was a kid, there was nothing more I liked more than the chocolate shake. So I revert back to my childhood and have a chocolate shake with it. I can't move for an hour.
Strawberry.
Yeah, see? And I can't move for a half hour after.
Right.
But it was so good. And maybe once a month, now with the grandkids, let's go to McDonald's. I said, we can't go to all the time. And you'd go to McDonald's back in the day, and it was $8.
Oh, yeah.
Not even 10. Now it's $30.
$30, yeah. I remember taking my son and my daughter and stuff, and usually after I give them a Happy Meal or something, their little systems couldn't take it,
That's
so they
right.
end up falling asleep.
They
I
don't
said,
care.
oh, good, they're falling asleep.
Yeah.
Good.
And they got a toy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
So I could buy 'em.
Well, that's getting older, and you realize. But then experience, and we have the experience to know what we needed to do to fight because we fought so many years, and. Tell us some of your what you've won. I know you're national in New England.
I won ITF national state champion of New England about maybe 10 years, 11. I mean, again about 10, 11, maybe 12. I'm not really sure. I used to have to pay. They're all put away now.
Oh yeah.
Trophies
up in the
are all
attic.
down.
Up in the attic.
Down the basement and everything.
I know.
And when I whip it out, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at age, or I look at some old pictures and everything, and won quite a few tournaments. You know, up in New Hampshire, New York. New York had the best competitions and everything like that. Going to California, you know, and you also meet different people.
Wow. And you're meeting the same people mostly over and over because
Over.
it's everyone's winning. The same people are winning over and over. And you go, oh, no.
Well, not him again. That's what I used to say when I seen you. I'd be like, "Oh God!" Like that time when we were,
I know.
and then we stood up. It was like everyone else sat down, and me and you looked at each other and said, "Oh, this is how it's gonna end."
Yeah, I'm looking at you going, oh, man, you and me again.
That's you.
And we go, yeah, I guess so. It did happen that way. But now, as I mentioned, we want to talk about what we're doing. And as I look at Major, like I say, you're on Facebook.
Yes.
Major Battle. Maybe anybody wants to check out what
Sure.
you always working out and doing is stay active.
Stay active,
And either throwing some kicks, jump rope and running, whatever you're doing. It's pretty cool.
Even walking.
Yeah.
Even walking. And I actually started doing Tai Chi because when I retired, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere if you did like Tai Chi, it kind of
Loosen you up and stretch.
Stretch and everything. And I've been doing it for about maybe a year and a half now, and I'm working wonders for me. You know, I'm able to get a good night's sleep. It relaxes me,
Stretches you out.
Everything stretches me out. You know, ligaments and joints in my knees, back, and everything.
Right.
And great class. I do it twice a week.
Cool. Yeah.
Everything, and it's real great.
You know, I was just thinking, next show we do, we'll do some Tai Chi. You can show Tai Chi.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Because I'd like to get you on the show at least twice a year if I could.
Yes. And mind you, I'm a beginner, so I'm still learning and stuff.
Yeah, but
and
and what we do on the show is for beginners.
Yes.
It's not advanced because
Right.
you want to go advanced, you go to a school somewhere, but you want to learn something and say, I think I would like that. That's what that show's all about.
Right.
And that's the Taekwondo show I keep plugging here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All you have to do is Google it. You'll DATV if you want to watch the Taekwondo show. You'll see Major and myself doing
it's our foundation.
Yeah.
Taekwondo.
Yeah. And so I find sleep-wise, what do you have a sleep schedule that you have to follow, or are you all over the place?
I'm all over the place because I, like I said, I went back to work per diem, and depending on how I schedule my work week, depends on how I'm going to sleep.
Right.
So usually if I'm doing a 3 to 11 shift, I make sure I go to bed early.
Right.
And then I get up early, take my son to school,
Right,
and
yeah, do
take
what you
care of all the chores around the house that the wife want me to do and everything. And then I head to work and stuff. And then I text my son, tell him, I say, Mom's going to pick you up, not me.
There you go. Yeah. And then try to get a workout in.
And try to get a workout in. Yes, in between that, I try to either walk, run, or I may go through a few patterns, Tai Chi patterns or Taekwondo patterns, and stuff. And they give you great workout.
Oh yeah, if you do them right,
Right, do 'em
and
right.
do them with the power.
Yes.
Lift weight, no weight lifting at all.
I do a little bit of weightlifting.
'Cause you got
but
the big
mainly-
body, you got that strong upper body.
You know what I've
It's
been
like-
doing is every morning I get up and I either do 50 or 60 push-ups,
Okay, yeah.
depending on how I feel.
Oh no, yeah.
You know, and sometimes I can go to 100. Like I'll do 2 sets of 50 or 2
Right,
sets of 60,
right.
like
And
that.
you're getting your whole upper body doing
Right,
that. Yeah. And then you're walking, you're getting your legs. Taekwondo, Tai Chi, you're getting your whole body.
Whole body. So and even at work, I take the stairs.
Yeah.
And
Oh
there's
yeah,
a-
just keep moving.
yep. Like the shirt says, stay active.
Stay active. Yeah.
Even there's sometimes when I'm at work, if it's not busy, I can get down and throw about 50 or 60 push-ups again.
Yeah. If because I notice if like 2 or 3 days I'm busy and I don't get the workouts I want, I'm out of control.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yes.
And it's like an addiction. And I'm like, what's wrong? I feel lousy. I feel lousy because I'm not getting that body moving. The blood's not flowing.
Right.
You know. Do you know? I have on my phone is and it comes up with the apps, I guess, on the phone, or whatever you call them. I'm so bad with this stuff. But,
Me too.
Oh my God! I think it's all in the head that I don't want to learn it. But it's a health app, and it shows how many steps I do.
Yes, I had that on before my iWatch broke,
Here
and
we go.
I had that, and I used to hear this little buzzing sound. You took X amount of steps,
That's
1,000
cool.
steps, or 2,000
Yeah,
steps,
right.
like that.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you say, wow, it looks. I'm still working 3 days a week. I'm semi-retired, but those days I work, I could put 6 to 7 miles a day walking.
Right.
Right. I mean, my legs are sore by the time the day's over.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my part of my job, stairs and this and that, and I'm saying, well, that's good, you know. And I like that little app, It says you've
Me too.
walked 16,000 steps, 7 miles or 6 miles, whatever that is.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, that's pretty good. And then the days I'm not working, maybe a mile and a half.
Right.
Unless I go to the treadmill and do some taekwondo. But I don't wear I don't have my phone on me when I do taekwondo.
Right. It's the same. Yeah. Same
So
with
you're
me.
not- you don't-
the
I have an
phone,
understanding.
Watch on
Yeah.
or anything because I don't like wearing jewelry if I'm practicing.
Right.
martial
Yeah.
arts.
Well, you don't. Yeah. You're gonna lose it.
Exactly.
It's
or
gonna
I'm
break.
Clashing, it's gonna break.
Right,
And stuff.
yeah.
But even when I go shopping, like if the wife sends me out to, buy some food or something like that, stop and shop, I'll park far away and I'll walk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And get as much. Get as much exercise as you can.
Yeah.
And it's funny. People will park. They'll go to the gym, but they got to park as close to the door as they. And I watch them, and they'll wait for I don't know how long to get close to the door,
Right.
Because they don't want to walk
don't
across
wanna-
the park. And some maybe if for women I can understand safety wise, all right, or maybe something else. But I'm saying I look at some of these people and they're in really good shape, and they'll go right on the treadmill, but
Yep.
they didn't want to walk.
They didn't want to walk.
They got to get right on
but
that
they're
door.
on the
Yeah.
treadmill, exactly.
That's human nature.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Take the elevator.
Take the elevator. I know. I run up the stairs because there's like about 6. I think it's like about 8 or 9 flight of stairs.
Right.
And this is how I started even staying in shape when I go to work. Instead of taking the elevator, I used to run up the stairs.
That's right. Oh yeah, and
man.
that right there, that's tough.
Yeah. Oh, by the time I got upstairs, I was huffing and puffing.
Right. And then on your joints,
Right.
you can feel it, but it's perfect.
Right.
And if you do it right, you just don't want to, some people run up and down. Running down, you're gonna fall one of these. times.
That's the only thing. When I'm running down, I'm taking my time. I said, okay,
Yeah.
because especially if you have people around, they see
yeah.
you, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to be embarrassed. I don't want them seeing
No,
anything.
you ain't going down. There's that martial arts champ. Oh, he fell down the
Yeah,
stairs.
you fell down the stairs. They always remember that.
Oh yeah. I remember this guy.
Yep.
But all right, so we're getting up there in age, and as I was talking, we were mentioning earlier, we fought our whole life against competitors, and we trained out, and we know what it's like to win, to lose. But there's one fight that everyone has, and that's age, and eventually death. You're gonna lose,
Right.
no matter how much we fight, and no matter how much you're gonna lose. But you can make it bearable.
Variable changes. Go down fighting.
Go down, fight, looking good.
Looking good. Yes, always.
Yeah, as you fight. And I don't mean looking good bodily wise. It's just, hey, you got to have some kind of swank. You ain't taking me down.
Not taking me down. Not yet.
I want to go in the middle of a jump reverse round kick or in the middle of a sparring match,
Right.
and they go, "How'd he die?" Yeah, he died having the best time of his life.
This
right
time is right in a match.
Yeah. Although he took a front round to the head on the way down.
Right
But that
down.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But he went out the way he
He
wanted
went out
to
the
do
way
it.
he wanted to. Yeah. It's so funny. But so we understand how it is to train.
Yes.
And if you want to win, there's certain things you have to do. And it's just the same with getting older. You can get old real fast. And you could say, oh, I'm hurting, I'm not working out, or I'm getting old, I'm not working. And now you're really going to get old.
Right.
Now you're going to stop.
Exactly.
And your heart's a muscle. You're going to die.
You're gonna right.
So you got to walk. You got to push, and there is pain.
Right.
And it's more pain as you get older.
Exactly.
I like the oils they have, the rubs.
The rub, yeah, me too.
I love 'em. I use 'em
love
all.
those and stuff. I mean, I was telling people, use the oils to rub them on and massage your legs wherever you heard that. But even like
The CBD they sell out now,
Right.
it's phenomenal.
Right.
And it just stops the pain right there, and it's good for you. It goes into your blood. It's actually people, and it was illegal for many, many years.
Right.
And just here in around my house in Drake, there's 3 dispensaries
Yep.
within almost a mile, and they're just doing well. And
I got
it's-
hooked on them where I'm like, oh man, this feels good.
It's so good, and it's good for you.
Right.
Unlike alcohol.
Oh, right.
And like marijuana, I never could really be a guy who smoked marijuana. I just didn't have the tolerance for it, and I didn't want to do it because of training.
Right.
But they have different things now that THC that is kind of good for your body and it relaxes you and it heals you. It heals
Exactly.
you, and finally the government says, all right, the alcohol business can't run the world,
Right.
and take So, but these rubs, these CBD rubs that you put on your knees and your back,
Yes.
second to none. So
Yeah, it feels a lot better. Before I was using the Tiger Balm, the Bengay.
that's right.
and all
There's
that
a million
stuff.
things.
It was
yeah.
an icy hot and
And
everything.
they helped a little.
Right. They helped a little
They
bit.
didn't absorb.
And I even had a massage.
Yeah.
I meant for the knees. I used to put them around the knees.
Yep.
And massage and everything, but they weren't working. The CBC.
Yeah. It's
Wonders.
and the funny thing is saying the massages. I don't know about you, but I got almost every invention known that I wrap around my legs. Whether it's the electrical stimulants,
Yep.
or the balls that roll,
Yes,
all right,
yes.
and the heating pads. I got them all,
Yes, I have them too.
and they feel so
They're all
good.
in the con. They're all in the con. I said, okay, which one am I going
I
to
got to
use?
recharge some of these
Yep.
things, so I got to plug them in, and I'll watch. If I'm watching TV, something's on.
Yes.
I got vibrating things on my neck, my back, and stuff, and it's you the blood flow. You're getting
Right.
the body, and you're getting the blood flow, and these little things that you put on your legs,
Right.
they stick to your legs, and you got the little electrode.
But it's the shock in it.
It's
Yeah,
shocking.
I was going to do that, and a friend of mine was even telling me about hot yoga.
Hot yoga.
Hot
yeah,
yoga.
Yeah.
But he said, yeah, but you be sweating to death. You know, him
Yeah.
and his wife was doing it.
Yeah.
And he said he had to get out of there because he said, man, I was really sweating.
Right. Yeah, I see that. My wife did yoga. My daughter did yoga. I don't know if my daughter might have done hot yoga, but I look at it on YouTube or whatever, and I don't know if I could handle that heat.
Yeah, I was
It might
saying the same
bother-
thing.
It might
I'm like,
bother me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a guy who likes too much heat.
Yeah.
It's something like that, and then, boy, hydration and. I don't know, but you do know.
right. I said, I want to try it one time.
What
just
do
to
they put
see.
you in a tent?
It looked like you're in a tent or somewhere, and I'm like saying,
got
okay,
heat. Yeah.
it's really heated. And
Yeah. And then we see you and me would do really well in yoga and stuff because of our flexibility.
right.
You got to kind of have some kind of flexibility with yoga. And
yeah.
Taekwondo to me is yoga, ballet,
Ballet.
hard ballet, or you might
Yes.
call it, especially with Taekwondo with the kicks.
The balance, everything. You're standing on one leg or something
Yeah,
like
and you're
that.
throwing
balance.
high
You're
kicks
throwing
and-
high kicks. When you do your pattern and stuff, you're knowing how to move.
Right, yeah.
And you're actually controlling your body.
You're controlling everybody. And yeah, your mind has to stay with your body,
Right.
and your coordination.
Yes.
The coordination of mind, hand, soul, and so you keep busy, and you
Right.
are keeping busy. As I say, we have a project we still want to work on, and it's going to be classic because we're of our age.
All right. Yes.
Of our age, because I
Never
don't
seen
think
one
no
doing
one's
it.
ever done this.
Right.
And I'm not going to give it away now. Maybe the next show.
Think about it.
I have some real research that because we already started it 5 years ago.
Right.
And as I say, a lot of things happened and had to stop because we have priorities. We have
Right.
family life, work life.
Work life.
COVID took over 2 years of everyone's life.
Everyone's life.
Yeah, and that's kind of gone.
Right,
Uh,
right.
And as we get older and we can retire and so, but you're like me. You're going back and forth to work, back and forth. To
I'm
work.
going back and forth to work just now. I got an 18-year-old.
But per diem,
Yeah, per diem is like I make up my own schedule.
but you're almost 5 days a week now.
Almost
right?
like 5 days
That's
a week
full-time
because,
work. Yeah.
like I said, I'm telling my son, okay, pick one of these colleges where you want to go to.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I may have to go back to work if I have to.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, that's good.
Stuff. He's an honor society. Son Tyrese, and
yeah.
both my kids, they were all honored. They get that from their mother, not me.
Oh,
I
no,
wasn't that
no.
type of student.
That's your humbleness. I mean, as I, and I'm gonna. You're on a subject right now. We're gonna keep it going, but that's why I really admire you. And we don't know each other that well, but we fought years and years ago. And I said, this is one of the greatest fights I ever seen with his body, and he's just humble, always humble, and not a big shot walking around bragging and being boisterous or anything. And I said, there's a nice guy right there, and that's what I says. When we got back, we lost track for 30 years.
Yes, we did.
Thank
We
God for
did.
Facebook.
I know. Thank God
I
for
said-
Facebook, man. I was glad to hear from you, man.
Well, people you may know, it says, right? And I'm going, all right. And I said, major battle. There's no one in the world that I know. Major battle. And I had to write out that moment there. Major, how you doing,
I know.
Bob? I says, wow. And that was 30 years.
30 years ago, because I remember even to this day, our very first fight, and they was like, yeah, he's the champion there. And I'm looking over, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm like,
we
I
had-
said, figure, I always got to get the hard person,
Well,
And, it wasn't no easy match.
After our first fight,
Yeah.
I said to myself, I got some work to do because there's no way you can beat this man unless you train like a maniac. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because your standards are to what your competition is. And a lot of the competition was good, but you could float. You figure I can get by. I can get by. Right. You can't get by when you're going to fight someone who's going to knock your block off because he's ready.
I was watching. I remember watching you fight, and I kept saying, "Okay, this is the guy I'm going to end up fighting at some point."
Yeah.
So I kept watching you, and like saying, "Okay, he does this, he does that. Okay, what am I going to do now?"
Yeah.
And I'm nervous and everything. I'm like, "Okay, he's the favorite. He's the champ." I'm like, I'm just up and coming here.
It's funny because I don't remember that part of me, you being up and coming. To me, you were always the champ. But all I remember was the first axe kick. You took my nose off, and I went, "What was that?"
And I felt so terrible. Because you know something. Every time, whenever I competed, and if I ever like knocked somebody out, I always went over there because I didn't want them to think I did that deliberately.
No, that's your personality. That's your
right. I'm
humbleness,
like, I said, oh man, I hope he's all right. And
Major, that's good karma. That's karma, and believe me, that's why you're still in great shape, and you have that attitude.
Right.
That attitude carries off on everything that you do.
I always believe in good sportsmanship. Shake hands, hug.
Yeah, be friends with your friends. You know, they're training as hard as you. I mean, some people can be annoying and some people can be obnoxious. And I was too at certain points when I was younger. My instructor, Mu Young Lee, put me right in my place.
Yep.
He says, "Don't be a wise guy." And I'm saying, wow, he just told me that.
Yep.
And I says, I better calm myself down. You know, because you can get hooked up and thinking this and that. He goes, "No, I don't like watching wise guys." And so he was my grandmaster, and he always will be. Right. God rest his soul.
Oh yes, I remember him. I remember him very
wasn't he the greatest?
Yes, he was great. He was great.
He
always treated us with respect and everything.
Well, your school and my school, you were from Boston.
Yeah, from Boston. Jay Hun Kim and Mr. O'Malley, both of them, I thank them a lot from having me from a beginner all the way up until they coached me and everything. Right. And I remember them telling me, "Don't get a big head," and everything like that. And I remember I won my first competition, and they just told me in class, "Don't get a big head." And
it'll hurt.
Always remember those words.
Right. Yeah. Help everyone out and train with all your boys and stuff. And I remember we would even go down to Kim's school.
Yes, I remember guys
in Boston, and we would train with you guys.
Right.
We were kind of tight for a school in Boston, big town Boston, and we were Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Yep.
But all our fighters would fight all your fighters at tournaments.
Yes.
And there was a lot of other schools, but we'd end up all the big names would be hitting there, and it's like we knew.
Yeah,
we knew
we were going to be in for a match. We knew like this isn't going to be no cakewalk.
Yeah.
You know.
But then we'd all see each other, and you and Sid and
Larry, Roy, we all be high-fiving each other, going out to eat afterwards, and then we talk about a match. Okay, maybe next time I got you.
Yeah. And you're still friends with these guys. Yes. I'll always be friends with them.
I always.
Yeah. Do you go to Kim's school much anymore?
I go there. Usually, if I do go there, it's early in the morning because there's so much of my time taken up. I'm dropping my son off. Then I'm doing something with the house. And then I got someone else coming over. Right. And then when I look at it, I say, okay, it's time to pick him up or anything like that. Or if my daughter's flying in from Atlanta or somewhere, okay, let me go pick her up. I'm like, who are you staying with? You going to stay with your friends or are you staying with us? So I give her a key to the house. I'm like, just in case if I'm like, right.
Yeah. Well, that's parenthood. Yeah. You got to let go. And you got to be there, but you got to let go.
Let go. Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, as I was driving my wife, she used to go to Beth Israel a lot over the last 30 years. I had to drive by Kim's school. Yes. And I'd look up because I remember being up there. Right. And they got a weight gym downstairs.
Weight room.
Is that his?
That's not.
That's somebody else.
Somebody else. Yeah.
But I look up. The windows are still open. It hasn't changed in 30 years.
No.
The building looks like it could fall down.
It hasn't changed. The area changed, but that hasn't.
That has not changed one bit.
And,
is he still there?
He's still there. He has 2 floors. They have the black belt hall, and then they have upstairs.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he didn't have that when I was.
And they didn't have that.
Yeah.
But
said the upstairs, yeah.
Yeah, they have the upstairs and stuff, but they have like elliptical machines.
Oh, cool.
And all that stuff.
Yeah,
bags all over the place and everything. And showers.
Memories.
Yeah, memory. When I look back, it's changed because now they have pads on the floor. Now,
we never had that. We had wood.
They had wood or they had concrete, but we had a carpet, so we used to get the carpet burned.
Oh, yeah.
And if you fell,
slippery,
and it was slippery, and if you fell while you're sparring, not only the concrete was underneath.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Don't fall.
Yeah, don't fall.
And now it's the pads. But the pads, and then you got to get used to the pads because your body's not used to that little spring action.
Spring action.
When
you
first started. You get over it easy because you
after a while, I wasn't used to it. Yeah. And after a while, maybe about like a month or so,
you say, all right, I remember that because I did the whole school with pads.
Right.
And
you
it was concrete.
Your balance.
Yeah. Underneath was concrete and a rug. And Geez, what a difference.
Oh, man.
You fall. You fall on that concrete. You fall.
I remember when you didn't even wear headgear.
No headgear. No,
There was no headgear.
you didn't even have to wear pads or anything.
Right.
You just fought.
You
Yeah.
just fought.
That's old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, when we say old school, that's 70s and early 80s.
Yeah. I remember
things
fighting
started
without-
happening.
What? No shin. I didn't know nothing about shin and instep pads. And I
Yeah.
remember first time sparring, I clapped
know.
shin.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get back up, and all I know, Mr. Kim Square, he said,
Yeah.
"Get up!"
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and I got tears coming down.
Yeah.
He said, "You crying?" No. And I jumped up.
And you're a kid. You're just
right.
a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I think I was like 12. I think I was like 12 at the time, man. And I'm fighting grown men, and I'm like saying, "Oh my God, I'm not getting back up."
Yeah. And not just grown men, champions.
Champions, yeah.
They were fighting champions. That school was known for the champions
Yeah.
and that they brought out. And it's so much fun with the memories and stuff. And that's why you never want to let go. That's addictive.
It is.
And anyone who does not just martial arts, any sport that and that you kind of excel in after a while, you're addicted to the win. You're addicted to the training, and when you don't get it, you're going through withdrawals.
Withdrawal, right? You want to train harder. Like, what did I do? I remember one tournament, I lost. I think it was my second fight. The next morning, when we got back to Boston, no, that night, the next day, I was in there waiting for the school to open up this train.
Yeah.
Because I was so mad at myself, you know.
Oh yeah, and then whether you're injured or not, like a broken toe, get in, go work out.
Go work out.
Tape it up.
Right.
I remember, I forget his name from your school. What was his name? John Lee.
John Lee, yeah.
I remember him fighting a kid from Minnesota, and what a match they had. And I was judging it, and I watched, and they were killing each other. And John Lee, there was second round. John Lee threw a front round kick, and his toe broke in half. It broke in half, the big toe or whatever, and it was flopping.
Right.
But John was winning. And he sat down, and Mike, and he goes, "Mike, I can't." Mike says, "You got one more round, and you win the nationals."
Right.
All right. Really? He goes, "Tape it up." This poor guy, the toe wanted to fall off.
Right.
He went out there and won
Right.
with that toe. How do you kick with a broken toe? He did.
He did.
We all did.
Yes.
But I watched and I went, "Wow." And I'm saying you could break a toe and it's still intact. This thing wasn't intact.
Right.
It was hanging on my skin.
Ooh.
And Mike taped it up as best as he could. He went out there and he stayed away from that foot.
Right.
And that kid kind of knew, but he beat the kid.
Beat the kid, right.
It was beautiful. It was John Lee. Another great champion.
Yeah,
from
yes,
Mexico.
yes. I remember one time it was me, Larry, and Sid had to pair up, and they said, "Y'all going against John." Me and Sid looked at each other because we looked at Larry because Larry was the tallest. We stepped back. We was like,
Yeah.
Because
he was tall. John
right,
was
right.
tall,
John
yeah.
was tall. So Larry asked me, he said, "What do you think I should do?" I said, "If you can run for 2 minutes,
You can move around, get away.
just run for 2 minutes." I said, "Can remember it's a 2 minute." I said, "Because I said either me and Sid's going to be next." And I looked over at Sid. I said,
It's
"You want to go?" Well, I want to go. He said, "No, you go." And I said, "Okay." And that was our strategy.
Yeah.
Was to run
Yeah.
for 2 minutes.
Stay away. Get
we're not-
fast. You better
yeah.
be fast.
Yeah.
Because
We
he can
weren't-
run too.
Right. He can run too. And we were like,
Yeah.
we wasn't going to go head to head with him. We knew. We were like, man, we're going to get killed out here.
Yeah. He was tall with his legs were longer than his whole body and stuff. And he was thin. So
Then,
he
and he was way more older than us,
Oh, yeah.
bigger than
yeah,
us,
Yeah. And more experience and stuff.
way more experience.
But
and we were
you
scared to
learn
death.
quick.
We learned quick.
learn
It
quick.
made us better. It made us better fighters. And
It's
to
funny
this day,
because you start naming these name lids, Sid, Larry, who else?
Leroy.
Leroy. And,
Rest his soul.
oh my God, I didn't know. You might have told me. I forgot.
Yeah,
Leroy was just-
he was a lieutenant firefighter in Boston. and
that's
he
good.
passed away about maybe 2-3 years ago
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff, man. But he's always in a hot memory.
Well, I remember once we would get together once or twice a year to fight. I'd go over and we'd talk, and you guys would have me roaring. And everyone was a wise guy with each other, busting each other's chops.
Oh, yeah.
And even my guys were like the same way. And I'd look, and it was like, it's a different school, different version, different people, different lives. The same thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And Taekwondo had us unified.
Unified.
Yeah.
When we went to the Nationals, we went to the National, even though we fought each other in the States, but if we went to the National, we all just had that, we stuck together.
Right.
It was just that, Massachusetts thing
Yeah.
where we all stuck together.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, no matter if we went to different schools, You know, we ate together, trained together, stuck together, cheer each other on. Even if we was in the
Got
same
in trouble together.
got in trouble together.
That was
Even
the fun.
Oh,
yeah.
that was the fun part. That was the fun part.
All you got is champions walking around the city, and what's going to happen? Who's going to be more of a buffoon?
Right. Having a good time.
Having a good time. Let's not get in too much trouble because our instructors are not going to be happy.
Yeah,
with
they're
us.
not going to be happy with us and stuff. You know, who was you with?
Yeah. What are you guys doing? Boy, that's funny. But most of your buddies still train, I bet you. And they're
still training?
Yeah, all mine do. All my boys and guys.
Yeah, I seen them on
They're all,
Facebook.
and they still at Taekwondo, United Taekwondo in Pelham.
Yep.
Everyone's training. Some in their 70s. Gary,
They look good.
Grandmaster Pelletier, 70.
Yes, I saw him. He looks very good. Yeah, I can't
He
believe
never
it.
stops. He never
No,
stops.
he looks very good.
140 pounds. Wow. Yeah. He fought at the 140 pounds, or 130 pounds, 120 pounds.
Yeah, he fought way before me.
Back in the day,
Yeah, back in
me
the day.
and him started
way
together
before me,
fighting. We never had to fight each other, thank God, because we were the same weight.
Right.
But we always got to fight around each other, which is good. Because you don't want to fight people from your school.
No.
It's because one's always a higher rank, number one. Your friends. And it's just, they should have it so that it doesn't happen. And it does.
They wouldn't allow it, and then what they used to make us do is kind of bow out to
You
each
bow
other.
out to each
And
other,
I remember
yeah.
we all,
To the higher rank.
to the high rank. I remember one time I was the higher rank, and it was Larry and Sid. And
Was they your same weight class, Larry and Sid?
at one time,
I
we were
don't remember
all
that.
the same weight class
Wow.
at one time for 1 year.
'Cause Larry got heavier.
Right, because Larry was heavier, and then
Right.
Sid, and I was the thin one because they always call me that. You know, oh, look at the thin guy coming in here. How come,
you were thin, yeah.
And my nephew and them used to always say when they were young kids, how come my uncle don't have no muscles? And I look at him, I'm like,
That's all it is. There's no fat.
no fat.
It's just muscle,
Yeah.
Because you kept yourself thin so that
Yeah.
you could be the tall guy in your weight class.
right.
Because if not, you're going to be the short guy,
guy.
in the heavier class.
and you fight someone tall, you be like, oh, God.
Look at this guy. Well, that's what I kind of thought with you, because you had me. I was pretty normal for my height,
Right.
but you seemed to be a little taller, and you
Yeah,
stood
I
up
sprouted
straight.
up. I sprouted up.
Yeah. And I went, oh, look at this tall guy.
I said, all right. And I remember they say, use your reach, use your reach.
Yeah.
Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't work. Because
No.
if I fought someone that was stockier, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, man, they're both trying to bowl me
Yeah,
over.
roll you
and
in, yeah. Mike Tyson type of guy. Just get in
Yes.
there. You can't kick because
Okay.
he's wrapping you up.
Right.
But, so we're still training.
Yep.
We're trying to beat old age.
Yep.
You know, I wake up, and you must too, and you know, a lot of people the same way. But I wake up, and some days I can feel 100 years old, and some days I can feel 25 years old, saying, "Man, I got to start training harder because I feel good. I don't feel like there was kids out there that could stay even with me.
Right.
I feel that way sometimes. Then sometimes you don't.
Right.
That's the age, or you don't have the longevity as you had when you were a kid.
Right.
That's what I find.
Yes.
And you got to work around it.
You don't. You got to work around it. And I always say, I say, let me be smart about this.
Yeah.
How I'm going to work around this. You know, if I don't feel like running, even though I should be running, I'll walk. So I'll walk around Castle Island, which is in South Boston, and I'll walk around it twice or three times, depending on how I feel, and things like that. Sometimes I do a little bit of running. I'll run and walk,
Right.
do both.
Right.
Like that,
Yep.
You know, so I kind of
And you know, I do a lot of research on walking and running and training. And if you run for 5 minutes, not 5 minutes. If you run a mile,
Right.
and you walk a mile, you're getting almost the same type of benefit.
Right.
All right, calorie wise.
Yes.
All right, because running you're going to do in 6 or 7 minutes, say,
Right.
or whatever, and walking is going to take you maybe 15 minutes. So you're getting you're getting a longer workout.
Yep.
So it's lighter on your joints.
Yep.
You know, it's cardiovascular and stuff, and you want to get those lungs stronger. That's the thing,
Right.
especially when you ring. People understand if you a 3-minute round, that first 3 minutes, your lungs are burning.
Your
like
lungs
you're
are
on
burning.
Fire. You're on fire.
Yes.
If you're
Yes.
not in shape.
Yes.
If you're not in shape, and
Right.
so you're going to fight yourself.
Right.
So that's what you really have to work
Exactly.
on. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I do the jump rope after I run. I do
Right.
the jump rope.
Right.
And, you know, I tell people, I said, when I first jump rope, I made me start off with like 30 seconds.
Right.
Just jump rope.
Yeah.
And I go to a minute, 2 minutes
yeah.
like that, and I go up.
And that's good for your joints also, and
Oh,
good
yeah.
for your stamina. Do you do any meditation?
Yes, I do. Since I was doing Tai Chi, I do the standing meditation.
Okay.
And it's quality over quantity. A lot of people, you're standing, and it's like you're almost hugging a tree.
Okay.
When you have your hands up and everything, some people say, "Oh, I could do that for an hour or 10 minutes."
yeah.
Before you know it, their hands are shaking,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're not, they're not
Right.
doing it right.
Yeah.
I said, "You're not doing it right." do one. Even if you do 1 minute, I'd rather see you do 1 minute. And the teacher, his name is Randy Moy, who teaches the Tai Chi. He said he'd rather see you do 1 minute perfectly,
Right.
as opposed to doing like 5 or 10 minutes of trying to stand
Right.
up there
Right.
and stuff. And I just started off doing like 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm up to like 5, 8 minutes. Standing, and you're doing different postures and stuff, and you stay in those postures.
And your whole mind is you're trying to clear your mind also.
In your mind, you're relaxed
Right.
and everything.
Breathing?
You're breathing first.
Total
when you're
breathing type
You're
of-
breathing actually normally.
Okay.
Breathing normally. So there's when you first breathe, you kind of in and out, in
Yeah.
and out. Your lower what they call the dantian underneath
Right.
your navel there, the dantian and
Yeah.
stuff, and you're breathing in and out
Right.
like that. And if you can do 2 or 3 minutes, fine. But again, you're doing about different postures. The first posture is just stand there and relax. Just have your hands down, stand there, relax. As if you're at a bus stop or waiting for the train.
Right. Anytime. You can
Yep.
do it in your car.
Yeah, relax. If you're sitting down, just sit down. Just relax.
Just relax, yeah, yeah. Cool. And like I've done many different type of meditations in my life. I love the breathing exercise where, and you can do it any number. Say you breathe in 8, count of 8.
Yeah.
You hold a count of 8.
Yeah.
You breathe out a count of 10 or whatever. You keep doing that,
Right.
and there's different numbers and different longevities on how much to breathe in, but practice them and do them each, and you'll find yourself falling asleep.
Oh, yeah.
And just relaxing like you've never in your life, and it's so easy.
Right.
You don't need any equipment.
You
you
don't
know?
know equipment. You just relax. And a lot of the breathing exercises, they help internally.
Right.
Whether it's your liver or your
Your bloodstream.
blood, your spine. When you're standing up, it strengthens your body.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that,
And this between YouTube and all these information that we can get off our phone, people should just look to see what you like,
Right.
practice. And YouTube is great.
Yes,
it's
YouTube is great.
Anything you want,
great.
anything you want.
Yep.
And I'm into the Om mantra now.
Yes.
Om.
Boom. Yep.
And for years and years, and I'm talking, I used to tape myself,
Right.
self-hypnosis, and then listen to myself because they didn't have the phone.
Right.
We're talking many years ago. Then all of a sudden the phone came in on YouTube, and hypnosis, self-hypnosis on YouTube. There's
Right.
millions of them. And I got into that for a long time. Then all of a sudden I got into the Om mantra, and it's right in by my ears
Right.
while I'm trying to sleep. I go
Yep.
right out.
Yep.
And they say it's a clearing mantra that, and you breathe. You do your own breathing
Right.
exercises.
Right. You breathe. Yeah.
And you're listening to that.
Listening
It's-
to that. We do that. And it's funny, in Tai Chi, they have, they do like a lot of breathing exercises. One of them is called the 8 treasures and stuff, where you're out, you're breathing in, and when you breathe out, all the negativity.
Right. You breathe the
coming out,
negativity out, right.
You're breathing it out and everything. It's called the 8 treasures. You can look it up or Google it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
There's different people do variations how they
Right.
do it and everything. But this is stuff that I'm learning
Right.
and everything and understanding about and reading about. And it's all internal, and a lot of them works the organs. And a lot of times you could just, after you do it, you kind of just shake your body, and you're actually massaging the organs inside your body.
That's right.
And stuff
Just,
like that.
yeah.
It's like I said, the liver, the spleen, some of the health benefits
Right.
of the breathing.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
It's the benefits are so unbelievable, and not many people do it.
No.
And I try to tell everyone to try it. Try breathing exercise. Try and just do a little homework on YouTube. I don't want to be a preacher, but do it, and you are going to be so happy with your sleep, with how you relax, and then you feel better as a person.
Right.
You're not all tense. A lot of people. You ever see people so tense? They look like their head's going to blow off.
That was me when I retired, because I'm used to being up late.
Yeah.
And where I worked, the type of work I was doing,
Right.
I was always up. And when I started doing the Tai Chi, I mean, I couldn't even get 8 hours sleep because I was just up and everything. Wife was like, "Oh, go to the other room," because I need to sleep and go to work in the morning and stuff. And once I started doing that, after about maybe a few months, I started able to sleep. Getting 6 hours, 8 hours.
Gotta get it. You gotta get it.
And it felt much better.
Yeah.
Felt much better.
I'm a stickler with 8 hours
Me
at
too.
least.
Right.
Don't give me 7. Don't give me 6. I want my 8, and if I can get 9 or 10, especially if I've been working out,
Yes.
I want it. And you have to rejuvenate your body,
You do.
and you can be sore as anything when you go to bed next morning. If you get a good night's sleep, your body repaired itself.
rejuvenate, right.
It repaired itself. A lot of people say, I 4 hours of the night. Yeah, okay. Are you working out? Well, no, yeah, of course you're not working, because if you worked out and did that, you'd fry.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I remember when I wasn't working out, I felt terrible,
Yeah.
miserable and everything. Once I started working out,
Yeah.
man, losing all the weight.
It's just, you got to get into the habit again.
Right.
Or you got to get the schedule.
Right.
You got to make it. Because if people say, I don't have time, well, I know you don't have time. None of us have time.
Right.
But don't sit down and watch Seinfeld for 4 hours
Right.
straight and eat potato chips.
Exactly.
Because you had the time, buddy.
Right.
Or get off that phone.
Yeah, I used to tell people, I'm like, even during COVID, a lot of people weren't going out. And I said, you got to go out and get some sunlight,
You're going to die. You need the sun, the
Yeah, you
vitamin
need the
D.
sun, the vitamin D.
You're gonna
And
die,
I'm like,
yeah.
just go for a walk. Even if you just walk around the
Right.
block, you got out for about 10, 15
some
minutes.
sun, yeah.
It's something.
Yeah,
It's something.
That's for sure. And even myself, I don't get out in the winter like I should, like I
Right.
want to. I'm not getting the sun. You need the sun.
You do.
All right. And I've had bouts. I mean, this poor nose. If you ain't breaking my nose, cancer, a little basal cell all over my nose from being in the sun my whole life. But hey, that's the way it is. I'm sorry. Thankfully, they got it out,
Good.
and it's not melanoma.
Right.
But 5-10 minutes of sun, your body will absorb what it needs, the
Right.
vitamin D and everything that the sun has to give.
Exactly.
And I still don't do it enough in the
Right.
winter. The winter's terrible around here.
The winter, yeah, I mean, even where I'm at, the winter's kind of terrible. 'Cause sometimes it's freezing cold.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm bungling up. And I said, okay, let me just go for a walk. And if I go to Castle Island, I said, I'll just do it one time around. At least I'm out there for that one time. But
Yeah.
my walk is a little slow.
Yeah. I see, and you bring
And
it.
you see me on Facebook. And
I see you on Facebook, and I go, what's he going to do today? Oh, there's the jump rope.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. I'm going, hey, you still got the jump.
got the jump rope. Yeah.
People look at jump rope, think it's easy. It ain't easy. Now, if you want to jump like a boxer, there's ways to jump rope, and it's not as easy as
It's
you think.
not, no.
And you pick up the space, the pace too.
Pace, yes.
Yeah, they just go up and down, up
Yeah,
and down. Yeah,
yep.
pick up the pace, and then you get some foot movement.
Yep, I have a little bit of foot movement in there just to see. I was like, let me see if I can still do that.
Yeah,
and stuff,
I
you
know.
know.
I used to like to do the crossover
Yes.
and the double jump.
Yes.
The double jump's
Yes,
tough.
I did that one time, and then I did. Let me see if I can still do the crossover. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I got it.
It's still got
You
it,
know?
yeah. It's just coordination. You don't lose that stuff.
Right.
It's your body's not prepared for it.
Right.
And it's like, even now when I do Taekwondo, and I try to at least stretch and throw a few kicks every day.
Right.
I love lifting weights every day if I can. You gotta change it. You can't be aggressive like a young kid,
No.
because you're gonna get hurt. And you got to be smart about it. You can get a good workout,
Workout, exactly.
but you got to be smart about it.
What I started doing pull-ups again, and I haven't did pull-ups
That's
in a long
tough.
time.
That's
and
tough.
they were really tough. And I remember in my military times, I could do 3 sets of 10 like it wasn't nothing.
Right?
When I started doing it, I couldn't even do 3.
No, I know.
And
And you're straining.
I was straining.
You don't want to strain
and
that
stuff,
the
right.
back muscles either. And stuff.
And stuff. And then I ended up making it up to 3.
Yeah.
And 3, I went to 5.
At a heavier weight.
And heavier weight, mind you.
190 pounds, whatever.
190 pounds and stuff. And then from 5, I went to 10. I was happy when I made it to 10 and 12. I was like, oh, wow, I did 10 and 12. I was telling one of the friends of mine that he's a weightlifter. He's a lot younger. I said, hey, I got 12 today.
Yeah. Most people can't do one.
No.
They can't get that. And because they're hard.
Right.
Your whole body weight, you got to lift.
Right.
So that's a lot of weight. I mean, if you're 100 pounds, that means you have 100 pounds of that muscle type.
Muscle type.
You got to still pick up that 100 pounds.
Yep.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what my son did? Because we have one in the house.
Right.
He said, yeah, Dad, watch this. He flipped up. And then he did a couple. And he said, could you do that? I'm like, no. I said, no, sit down. I
Isn't
said,
that wild? Look, yeah. And
You
they
know.
see it on YouTube and stuff. And they say,
Right.
I'm going to do that. Yeah. I watch a lot of stuff people do, and I go, good for them.
yeah, that's why I said,
If I was younger, I'd practice or I'd try, but I'm not playing that.
I'm
game.
not playing that. I'm
I
like,
want to throw some front round kicks. I want to throw some reverse
Exactly.
round kicks and be happy that I know that.
right, right.
Yeah. You know what? Kind of be happy at our age. Be happy with what you did,
Right.
And savor it. You know, and then, like I even told you that, like memoirs. Write memoirs. If you were to write stories, especially being a champ, all over the country with your boys, and the stories that you can tell, some of the funniest things.
Oh, yeah.
you'd be writing and say you wrote for a year or two, you'd have yourself a book.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and it's just starting because I wrote a lot of stuff down. I have stuff all over my house
Right.
in different notebooks, and I'm trying to put it together now. And I got a lot of the different stories, especially with my boys, the Grandmaster League. Funny stories, stories, inspirational stories, and I want to put that together. But like if you sat down for an hour a day, a half hour a day, just wrote.
I actually have a few stories that I have written down, and we still talk about it to this day. Whenever we all get together, it's like we never even missed a beat.
Never a beat.
And
they're fun. They're fun to talk about because you're
Talk
gonna
about,
laugh.
like at tournaments and like saying, yeah, remember when the referee came over to you and said,
Oh, yeah.
take it easy, right?
And you said,
and you said this and you did that. And the one that always stands out is the one when we were coaching Sid. It was me and Larry. And the referee called, like, yeah, you got the match, but could you ease up on the guy a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, yeah, Sid, you got to ease up on the round. But he wasn't even paying attention.
No,
I looked at Larry. I said,
that's not, yeah.
he's not paying attention to us. We just started laughing.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
Ease up,
proceeded not to like pay attention to us. And I'm like, saying, hey, could you just slow it down a little bit, tone it down a little bit?
Don't kill this kid.
Don't kill this kid. All right.
But you're in a zone where you've been training like a maniac, and you almost want the knockout.
Right.
I remember shaking kids' hands, and I'm saying, that handshake, I'm knocking them out. And if I didn't knock them out, I was mad.
Right.
All right? Not that I wanted to hurt him or anything, or just knock him down. I wanted to give him a reverse round kick because he didn't have what I thought he was going to have in the handshake. And so you get into that mentality. So them telling him, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm training for this.
Training for this.
And what if he
that
gets
was
a
his
lucky
whole-
shot? Yeah.
That was his whole mentality
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, even Larry, I remember when Larry was a real nice, very nice, humble guy.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah, funny guy. I mean, quiet and everything until you really made him mad. And that's when he'll unleash.
Yeah.
You know, you see a different side of him. And I remember one time a guy did that, and we were sparring up at the school. And guy that came in off the street and I wanted to spar. And Larry kind of took it easy, just toying with him. Then the guy did something.
I got him mad.
And got him mad, and Larry ended up knocking him out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's mad. I was like, he's mad.
Yeah. Well, somebody comes in cocky, and you're trying to be a nice guy. Let's learn instead of being big shots.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
It happens.
People used to come into to my school way back, and I'd say, "How you doing?" Yeah. I was in the area. I figured I'd check this out. I says, "Good." I see you studying martial arts? Yeah. I says, "Oh, really? What rank?" "Oh, black." I said, "Oh, really?"
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, I took this weekend course. It was extensive weekend course." And I says, "A weekend course, 3 days?" Yeah, but it was extensive. And I got my black belt in 3 days. I go, "Oh, nice, good course. It's pretty good." Yeah, imagine. And in his mind, I says, "Why don't you come down here? We'll train with us for a while and stuff, and we'll do some sparring." No, he walked out. I never saw him.
No,
We already had his black belt, three days.
Yeah, exactly. He went to McDojos, what they call McDojos.
McDojos, yeah.
Oh,
that's funny, and that's the mentality of a lot of people. Or I could fight in the streets. Well, you fight in the streets is one thing. You go into a martial arts school and you got people who are training for tournaments. You're in another,
right.
You're in a world of hurt, right, my friend.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you want to have an attitude,
If
too.
you have attitude problems, you're going to get an attitude adjustment.
Right. Well, especially if someone comes in like that, and you got you, Sid, Larry, and all standing on the side watching.
Right.
And this guy's mouthing off to one of your friends. It's like, really?
Really? Yeah.
You got a lot of nerve there, buddy.
That had happened one time, and I think me and Sid was finished working out, and we were walking out of the school. And at the time, they told us to come back up.
Yeah.
They said, "Where are you going?" Like, we're finished. We're done.
Yeah.
And then I think a guy named Dave Harrison was running the school at the time. And he said, "No, you're not. Get back in there and put back on your uniform.
Nice.
You're gonna fight. You're gonna spar."
Nice.
Me and Sid looked at each other, and we're like, "Okay."
All right,
And it was
yeah.
two guys.
Yeah.
So what school they came from, but they were higher ranks and stuff. And they said, "Yeah, go out there and spar those guys." We end up beating the guys, and one of the guys, Sid hit the guy, and the guy went down, and then the next guy I spy, he went down and stuff. And they say, "Okay, you guys want to spy? How come you didn't do anything?"
No, yeah. It's dangerous. I mean, anything can happen.
Right.
Especially with Taekwondo.
Right.
It's,
And again, no headgear. There was no headgear. There was no
pads.
no pads or anything. We just went out there. And
Those were that's back in the day.
back in the day. You couldn't do that now.
Well, what happened, and people were getting knocked out. That's one thing. but especially in Florida, some things happen. And the kid got knocked out and was completely out standing up. And when his head hit the basketball court, which is as hard as you could ever get, his head split open and died.
Right.
Blood everywhere, and they're going, we got to stop this. Now there's pads on the floor, there's full headgear, there's full body gear, which is how it should be.
Right.
All right.
Because they wanted in the Olympics at the time. I know they was
right,
going
the
through
Olympics
when
were
the
coming.
Olympics were coming, so they wanted to make it very safe.
It's got to be.
Right.
You're going to get people who just knock each other out. You can't be on a hardwood floor
No.
and be knocked out standing up and just falling back. Nobody's going to catch you.
Right.
You know, I mean, when you're boxing and you were to fall,
The canvas.
the canvas is like a trampoline.
Trampoline, right.
It really is. It's got such a give. Do that
On a gym floor or concrete or
Concrete.
wood or anything like that. It's totally
There's no
different.
give.
Even in they used to have I think they still have it, Bay State Games in
Yeah.
Boston,
Yeah, I
and
remember
they had
those, yeah.
one year they had Taekwondo in it. The following year they took it out because
Dangerous.
yeah,
Yeah, they're trying to, and I can see their point.
Right.
But and you've got to have. Some people can be so dominant over someone else, and that's when someone gets hurt.
that's what. Yes,
They don't have a chance even blocking a
Right,
reverse
right.
round kick. They knock them right out.
right. And when you're like that, if you know that you're dominant over the person, you can ease up a little bit.
You can, yeah.
You can ease
You
up.
can, and it's like, yeah, all right. But like we said, all right, ease up. You're in a different zone
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You're in survival zone.
Right.
I don't want to get hit. What if all of a sudden he throws a
He
kick
throws
now
a
and
kick
knocks
and
me
yeah,
out?
it knocks me out.
And that's happened more than once.
Yep.
Ease up on the guy, ease up, and all of a sudden you get knocked out
Knocked out.
because you eased up. You were playing around.
Right.
So you can't knock anyone for trying the hardest to
to knock that
get rid of
person
everybody
out,
out of the
get
way.
rid of right out of the way and stuff.
If I knock you out now, I don't have to spar 3
Spot-
rounds.
Exactly.
I can save
You know,
myself.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Save myself another 2 minutes or another round. I don't have to rest. I can rest up.
Right. So we're winding down here. Once again, this show's on Spotify, DATV. If you're listening on Spotify and Google and whatever else we're on, it seems like we're all over the place. Go on to DATV. You'll see the video of myself and Major Battle. We're both wearing his shirts. All right. Stay active, battle wear, and he's got different poses on there, different crazy things he's done.
Yes.
Some are a little more conservative, just stay
Yep,
active.
stay active, yep.
Little on your left chest, which is kind of nice. And good luck with that.
Thank you.
Keep it going.
Thank you.
Want to give your email out again if you want?
Sure. It's battling, BATTLING, 3, the number 3, at hotmail.com. Okay, everything's lowercase.
Right. Yeah.
And the shirts, they go for $15
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'll send it out.
Different
Everything's paid for.
Hoodies and
Hoodies
sweatshirts,
and everything,
whatever
yes.
you need. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm going to be ordering some more T-shirts probably when it gets closer to the summer.
Yeah.
everything
People
like
will be
that.
looking for tank tops, maybe.
Tops,
or
everything in other colors, not just black, but
Yeah,
other colors
everything's
too.
good. Yeah, because a nice white shirt with your picture.
Yes.
The white doesn't. You really can't see your face. All you
Right,
see is
right,
a,
right.
A reverse image.
Right.
But if you get a black shirt, you'll be able to see.
You'll be able to see the
Major
shirt,
Battle. Yeah,
see
yeah.
my face and everything.
There
And
you
it
go.
says stay active on it, meaning of any age, whatever age you are, stay active. Even if you just walk,
Right.
run, whatever you do.
Any sport, try to get into something that you like, and just think about it. You don't have to be a champ. You don't have to be the best at it. Do any sport.
Right.
And if it's not a sport, do a musical instrument. Get yourself involved with something that you're going to enjoy yourself and make a lot of friends.
Exactly.
I think friends is what kept me in Taekwondo my whole life.
Yes.
I got to see my friends.
Yep.
I had so much fun with these guys. I still do. If I don't see them for a long time, these are my friends for life. They're my brothers.
Brothers, exactly.
We're brothers like we never. And I love the art. I love Taekwondo, but I love my friends.
Right. I'm glad that me and you reconnected and everything because it was
and
good.
as I say, we got a minute left. As I say, we have a project we're going to work on. We just decided we're going to do it again. I got a lot of homework to do, and I got to.
So do I.
I got to hook up with some right people. But this could be a classic thing we want to get into, and we got to stay in shape.
Yes.
It's going to have to make us stay
Right.
in
Make
shape,
us stay in shape. And it does.
As I say, we're not going to beat old age.
No.
as we speak,
We stay motivated.
it's and go out looking good. Go out
Yes.
with that front snap kick, front round
Exactly.
kick.
Go out with a smile.
Go out with a smile and show them that you never gave up.
Right.
Because a lot of times you do give up for a little while for personal reasons. Right. Not give up, but you slow down.
Slow down. Right.
And you say, I got to get back. That's my life.
Right.
I got to get back.
Get back into it.
Yeah. Major, thank you so much again.
Anytime. Thank
I'm
you.
going to get this guy on a couple of times a year.
Anytime.
And because there's always something to talk about.
Yes.
And if we can get this project going, there'll be a lot.
Oh,
to
it's
talk
going to be
about.
nice. People will enjoy.
It could, yeah. And the older we get, the better this project will be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening. Again, you can Spotify, you can Google us at DATV Drake It. Google DAT Drake It, and you can see us on video also and get this podcast. And thank you. Stay fit and go for that battle wear and stay active, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.